twice I was arrested, and spent time in jail for it. Once in New York State, and once in Montana. And Montana was the best place to be in jail because it was like being in jail on the Andy Griffith Show. And that one was, and let me say that the yard workers are usually more than friendly to tramps, and they'll tell them where the train's headed and so forth. And I had one yard worker come up to me in Minot, North Dakota, and apologize. And I said, what's this about? And he said, he says, I was telling some of the guys in their break room about what you were doing out here on the railroad, and the bull heard me, and the bull has got it out for you. And he said, so stay out of sight. Well, that led to just a full day of me playing cat and mouse with this guy. And to make a long story short, I mean, I'd hop on a train, and he'd radio ahead and have the train stop and back into the yard. And I would always get off the train on the opposite side of where this bull was. And he'd be on the opposite side of the train screaming at me. And when the train would pull away again, I'd just wave goodbye and I'd get on the train. So this went on just a couple times. And then, you can't hold up a freight train for some guy with a backpack on. So he eventually let the train go with me on it. And it pulled into a little town in Montana, and the police were there waiting for me. And I thought, I thought, well, this was over with in North Dakota, but it wasn't over. And it was kind of funny because the cop came up to the boxcar while it was rolling into the yards, telling me I was under arrest. Well, the train, it takes a mile or two for those trains to stop. So by the time the train stopped, the cop was out of breath and could hardly get the words out. You've got to come with me. And so I told him, I said, I could outrun you right now. And he's going, I know. So he took me to jail. And when he was unpacking my stuff, they have to log all of your equipment. And he saw the camera equipment, and he said, oh my God, what are you doing on the railroad with this? And so we started talking, and it turned out his father was a wildlife photographer, so he had a lot of sympathy for me. And he said, look, I have to put you in jail. The railroad swore out a warrant for your arrest. So I did go to jail, and the next morning when I went to trial, the judge said, well, the officer woke me up last night and told me about you, so when you came to court, he had some background, and the judge was so nice. He said, look, I have to give you some time because he said, I don't know what you did to that bull in North Dakota, but they were really steamed. And he said, you just have to get out of town. He said, I have to give you a sentence, but when you leave, don't take a freight train out. So I did. I bought a ticket to the next town and then hopped on a freight train and got out.